Y'all ready to see what's up? Flip your phone vertical to check out today's working artist vlog. What's up, y'all? I just did 43 minutes of making comics. I woke up kind of uninspired today, so I intentionally inspired myself to not inspired to basically make content and do stories and stuff like that. That's what I was uninspired by, but I was happy to work on comics. So I kind of went with that. You know, I knew I was happy to make comics, so I didn't do like a live stream this morning, which it's a great opportunity to do one today, but you know, it is what it is. I just didn't feel right, but what I did do was intentionally inspire myself. So I've been listening to kind of motivational podcasts and videos and stuff as I'm working, and I feel a lot better to do like stories and stuff. So as you can see on page 2, I did inking for these 2 panels, and then on page 1 I finished this outside of, you know, kind of shading and crowd stuff. This page is finished as far as line work goes, so I drew that little guy right there, and then I finished up this guy, and yeah, so this page is finished to a certain degree, so that's kind of cool. Alright, before I get on the road, quick little kind of business / creative tip / anything tip, really. I was doing my daily reading / listening to the Bible this morning, and I checked out this story of Zacchaeus. Now, Zacchaeus was like a tax collector, and he was very short. And in these crowds that were kind of going around Jesus trying to, you know, get in touch with him and stuff, you know, he couldn't get his attention because he was so small, and also, you know, people wouldn't want him to be around Jesus because he's kind of, if you're a tax collector, it's almost the same as being like a sleazy like car salesman back in that day, and you know, so he was like known to be a sinner or whatever. So what did Zacchaeus do? He didn't let any of that stop him. He climbed a tree and got Jesus' attention, and Jesus came to his house and talked to him and hung out with him. And I think that's really cool. And the thing is whatever you are looking for, whatever you're trying to get to, you know, trying to make your comic, trying to, you know, get the word out about your comic, whatever it is, you know, just because there's all kinds of things that are telling you shouldn't, and that you should stop, and this way isn't going to work, you know, those people who really want it, they find a way to make it happen. You know, if the comic market seems to suck, well, that doesn't mean you can't find a way to sell your comic. You can do all kinds of different things. You can find a different market that maybe isn't the typical comic market, and find a way to get your stuff in front of them that they would like. So just a little thought, a little tip there. Hopefully that's helpful. All right, later, guys. All right, so another thought to kind of piggyback on what I was just talking about before is I was just listening to a podcast with Tyler James, a Comics Launch podcast, and he was coaching. It was a free coaching session with somebody, and he asked them, you know, how many comics would you like to sell in a year, like if everything went right, all the ducks were in a perfect row and whatever. And he said something like 2,000 comics. And then so like immediately, you know, they look over to, or they kind of talk about, well, okay, look at Marvel and DC. You know, they are like, that's kind of numbers that they, you know, sometimes make or sometimes don't make. And Image even struggles to make anything like that kind of sale on their comics. So immediately, you know, and this isn't a criticism, because he actually ended up bringing up a lot of good points of how you can still do that, which I thought was really interesting. But one thing I was thinking as I heard that was, well, yeah, you know, you look at Marvel and DC, sure, obviously that's what we're all going to look at. But, you know, just because Marvel and DC isn't selling, you know, comics, like a ton of comics, or even Image, you know, isn't selling like a ton of comics, that doesn't mean that comic books don't sell. that just means that they don't know how to sell comics, at least in my opinion. I mean, comics have sold for more before. You know, there's more people in the world now than there was back when comics sold even more, you know. It's not because, in my opinion, they're selling that comics don't sell. I'm sorry. Again, it's that, you know, they need to sell comics better. They're not focused on selling comics. They're as much as they're focused on doing movies and, you know, merch and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, you know, if you're doing a comic book on a certain topic or whatever, you know, find the people in that topic. So, you know, for instance, my buddy Scott Circlin is doing, if you go to youngandthedead.com, you can find his Kickstarter he's doing. It's a comic that kind of combines, you know, Stranger Things and Walking Dead, or The Goonies and Night of the Living Dead. It's a zombie book with kids, you know. So find the people. So I would say definitely go check out his Kickstarter. But, you know, and I'm sure he's doing some of this, you know, if you have that kind of focus, you know, there's a lot of people who are fans of that. Can you find, you know, there's way more than 2,000 people who are fans of both of those things, I'm sure. Say there's 30,000 people, there's probably way more who are fans of both Stranger Things and The Walking Dead. Go and seek those people out. You know, you could do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads. You know, you don't even have to do ads. You can just go search on Twitter and see who's talking about that stuff. Go to Facebook and look at all the groups that are really passionate about all that stuff, and just, you know, be involved in that community. And then, you know, try to seek them out, and you know what I would do is get your first issue, a PDF version of your first issue, and give that to everybody and anybody you can give to for free, and you know, get them hooked on the book. And you know, there's no reason, out of the thousands and thousands of people who are into that stuff, you could probably find 2,000 of them who are willing to buy one of your books on the same type of thing. So, I mean, this is just thinking outside of the box. You know, it's kind of a cheesy term, but it's true. You know, think of ways that you can get your stuff in front of, in you know, readers' hands of people who like your kind of thing. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Again, check out youngandthedead.com if you want to support Mr. Scott Circlin, because his stuff rocks. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. And I want to just say, just as a quick caveat, you know, I can imagine somebody might say, well, yeah, you know, it's just that easy, huh, Marsh? Well, I'm not saying that it's easy, that's for sure. What I just described to you takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, you know. But if we want people to check out our stuff, you know, are we willing to, you know, invest some of our time to do that? You know, set aside, you know, a half an hour or 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, every once in a while throughout your day, maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes, to do some of that, and see what you can do. You know, try things and fail, and then find out what is working, and, you know, double down on that. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do it. Don't look at the excuses. Try to find new ways. If this doesn't work, maybe there's a different way to make it work. You know what I mean? All right, here we are, lunchtime again, and I already got my half an hour in today, but, you know, I'm still working on comics. That doesn't mean I can't work on comics again. A little bit tired and stuff, a little rundown. It's another late lunch, but, you know, I'm going to do what I can and just try to make some more progress. Got a lot of work to do, you know. I'm going to set things up right. I need to make some good books that people are really into, so doing my best. Alright guys, hope you're having an awesome day. I'll talk to you later. Alright, so I did another 30 minutes, more or less, probably more. And this is more like on the concept design type of thing. With this project, I'm trying to actually capture likenesses a little bit, which is not something I've done in a comic, or really, you know, well, I haven't done it in a comic yet, and I struggle sometimes to do it in a comic style. It's kind of easy to do it when I'm doing more detailed and stuff, but you know, I'm trying to do it in a comic style that's not so detailed. So I don't know, I'm working it out, so we'll see how it works out. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and let me know what you think of these. It's been about a week that I've been doing these working artist vlogs with the stories from Instagram. Should I keep going? Let me know in the comment section.